Verbs of Bluffs. Getting everything set up. I think I got everything set up. You know, we got all these computers, Wi-Fi, and all that stuff going on. Oh yeah, I got some very special guests in the house, y'all. Oh yeah, I got some very special guests in the house. I think I got everything going. Let me put some. There we go. Add a little music, add a little rhythm to it. Let me share this real quick on Facebook. Make sure everybody go to our YouTube page. Make sure you guys go to our YouTube page and subscribe, man. Subscribe. We're giving away, it's 12 days of Christmas. We're giving a jacket. We're giving away some other prizes. So make sure you guys subscribe. We got some guests in the house. You know, they do a podcast. You know, they gotta come, with a different flavor and stuff. And they watch The Boss, y'all. They watch The Boss. And, we love our neighbors here. You know, we brag off our neighbors. Normally, we do the morning show, but they couldn't do it because they work. Some people work. There's plenty of jobs out there, y'all. You're looking for a job, there's plenty of jobs everywhere.
Yeah, stimulate that economy, Yeah.
And then they're from the Black diaspora, and that's one thing that we do here at 95.7. Oh yeah, we reach out to the mainland. See, y'all call it Africa, I call it the mainland.
I like that.
See, we ain't gonna be named after no conqueror. We're gonna change the name of the continent pretty soon, y'all.
Maybe Alcovia.
Yeah, we're gonna change it to something. Change it to Congo or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're gonna call it the mainland because without the mainland, would nothing be happening in none of these lands.
Yeah.
So, y'all owe me some money, y'all. I'm trying to get out of here. I can't even get out of here because I owe child support. They won't let me go.
Oh, man.
Lord have mercy. Oh yeah, you know how these stars are. They got their own nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, yes, and predicates. We're going to let them introduce themselves because they got, mainland names. We have mainland lands, you got different letters. They all different, arranged differently. You know what I mean? So I don't want to do nobody no injustice. By messing up their name. But they got some AKAs. I know they're AKAs. But I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We're going to get right into a dialogue with I'm going to take this music down a little more. And so, gentlemen, let us know who you are.
First of all, it's an honor on behalf of my brothers to be here with the legendary Mr. William King.
Yeah!
It's even a big honor to be here on Tell You the Truth Tuesdays. There's one thing we do at Kush Convos, we tell the truth. And I'm going to let my brother here introduce more about what we are and what we're here to talk about.
Tight. Now say it again. Speak up for me a little bit.
So we go by the name of Kush Convos.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, big brother.
We good. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Am I good?
Yeah, you good.
You heard me?
See that, man?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Let's go.
G,
Let me just go with that intro then. You heard? Yeah.
Go ahead. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Okay. First and foremost,
Check. I don't know why they're there. We'll get it right, y'all.
Yeah.
So you might have to share that mic while I let you talk, and then you just spin that bass around.
okay, for sure.
What?
No, I know, we more than straight. Count us off?
Yeah, go ahead. No, everything's on. Go ahead.
Okay.
You do your thing.
Yeah, hey, welcome to 95.7. Hey, you're home for hip hop and R&B in Metro. Shout out to the 402. Live and direct. Shout out to the whole Midwest. It's Kush G.O.D.
Yeah.
I'm your humble host, Kush Convos Podcast, with my brothers here with me, South Sudan Max, G_Choreo, Shadra Ochanda, you heard me? And then we're here with William King, shout out to the King.
Okay, all right.
Now, what we do is...
You can back away from the mic, they can hear you good.
For sure.
Yeah, next time I said,
Yeah.
Except I want to make sure that they hear you clearly, you know what I
No,
mean?
for sure,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure. You don't want to sound distorted, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Go ahead, big brother.
Yeah.
With this one.
Yep, you had.
All right, welcome everybody. We are Kush Convos, like our brother had just said, and I go by Ochanda. That's my given name. And what an opportunity to be here at the Boss 95.7 with William King.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming in. Ochanda, is that your real name?
So that's the name that I was given.
Okay,
Now
Ochanda.
is that the name that the government has for me?
Yeah, no, you know, we got government names.
Yeah. So do I got a government name? I do, but you know, the childhood name was given to me as Ochanda.
Ochanda,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
There's a meaning. There's a meaning behind it.
What country are you from?
All right. I was born from two Kenyan parents
Two Kenyan parents?
in Kenya.
What does your name mean?
Ooh. Well, I mean, more of that. I feel like you know, more at a more intimate setting. But just know that there was a certain event. It's named after a certain event that had taken place.
Okay,
at
history.
that time. Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, my family's history. So it's you know, if people that are listening and watching, I'm sure they're going to be. They'll know exactly what event that was. So I was born from two Kenyan parents. Unfortunately, you know, my parents had split, and you know, but what was great about that is that my mom had remarried, and this man that she had remarried was from the great country now today called South Sudan.
Okay.
So that's my connection to the South Sudanese people, is that my time in America has been raised by my mom and then this man, who I call also my father, here in America from South Sudan. So I've been intrigued, I've been, you know, in the South Sudanese community as far as culture, language,
Okay.
and lifestyles. Yeah.
All right, cool. Now, why don't you go ahead and reintroduce yourself again, big brother?
All right, I go by William. I'm originally from South Sudan.
Okay, so your mic is still not working. We're gonna slide that mic on the base. There we go. Good, there we go.
So I go by William.
Okay, so you William also.
No, William. W-U-R-I-E-M.
Okay, so it sounds like William though.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's the South Sudan version of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or William might be the American version of
William, that's
Yeah,
right.
okay, now how you spell your William again?
W-U-R-I-E-M.
Okay, and that's William.
William. You gotta roll. You
William.
gotta roll the R.
William.
Yeah.
William.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that one. So I'm gonna spell my name or something. Change my name.
For sure, we're gonna get you a passport. Don't worry.
Okay.
You good after this?
Now, what country are you from, big brother?
I'm from South Sudan, the newest country in the world.
Yeah!
South Sudan.
Yeah!
So South Sudan just got its freedom, or are you guys still fighting for your freedom?
Oh man, see, freedom is very objective, but we got our independence, I'll say,
Okay.
in
Okay.
2011. But unfortunately, due to a lot of self-inflicted violence going on in our country, we were being, you know, resources are being stolen, and we're under lifetime contracts with certain countries. I'm not gonna say the names, but
China.
something like that. I heard they had
Get
a
out of there, China.
pandemic breakout like a couple years ago, so I'm not too sure.
Well, I don't know, man. It's, you know, pretty soon, you know, all these people that think they can control the rest of the world. They're gonna pretty soon have to worry about, you know, their own countries pretty soon. And so, no, I appreciate you guys support 95.7 The Boss. I just want to make sure that we reciprocate. Want to let the community know that there are brothers and sisters from the Black diaspora that are actually going for the same conclusion, and that is business. We want to do business. We want to make sure that we have jobs for our community. We want to make sure we have education for our children. But also, we want to make sure that we put smiles on people's faces also. So I want to just introduce them to you. Tell us a little bit more about your podcast. What's it about? Is it about some of these issues? Is it about your country issues? To create awareness, what's happening over there in order to create a power over here? What's your guys' purpose?
It's really a combination of all those things you mentioned. You know, we're three individuals. We each have our own reasons on why we felt we needed to create a platform. But the main reason is kind of like the reason why you created this platform, this radio station. By the way, the only black-owned radio station in the state of Nebraska.
I didn't even know
So
that.
let's give Mr. King his props for his trailblazer.
We you know, since our ownership, there are 2 more, Gospel Omaha,
Okay.
and they play all gospel music, and Malcolm X, Mine is Soul. They play more old school.
Right, but you're
And
only
so,
urban contemporary.
Yep, yeah, only adult urban contemporary in the nation. I mean, in the state. But we are a research station, so we can put that as our claim to fame per se.
I like that because that's very powerful. Outside of getting our voice out there, creating a platform, you know, African proverb, you know, until the lion knows how to write, history will always be taught by the hunter. So we can't complain about not having a platform. We can't complain about not having a voice. We can create one ourselves. It's 2021.
Mhm.
The world's at your fingertips.
You said, repeat that again. You said the hunter.
Okay, so there's an African proverb, I'm not sure which country, but I'm pretty sure we all have a similar variation of it, that until the lion knows how to write, the hunter will always tell history.
Okay.
Because the victor goes to spoils, which includes history. So for us, it was like we can sit here and complain about how we don't have this, we don't have that, because maybe you know, maybe you don't know, you know, the Sudanese population is the largest here in the city of Omaha in the whole country.
Yeah, no, do you guys know how many?
See, that's the issue. Last time it was recorded, I think they said 15,000, but
So
that was like 10, 15 years ago.
So reality, in the census, it's probably about 100,000 black folks. If you include the native that was already here, around 60,000.
Yeah.
You got another 15,000, and all the other natives. I mean, all the other individuals that came from the homeland.
Yeah,
And so, yeah. And so I know here in the black diaspora, I know we got to be around 100,000 people now with the whole black diaspora for sure. I'm assuming.
Oh, that's easy.
It's actually a little more than that.
Okay.
And with such a huge number, we feel like we're not taking advantage of that border block economically, politically, in all types of ways. But before we get to that, another reason that we formed this podcast was to also bridge the gap. Like you say, there's more than 100,000 black folks of all ethnicities or origins, right? But we all have one thing that ties us together. So that's another big aspect of why we brought this together. And I'm gonna let my brother Ochanda and Kush speak on it more.
Yeah, you know, he said that, you know, each of us got our own reasons for starting the podcast. My biggest reason was, you know, highlight success stories of the black diaspora. There is so many, whether it's businesses, programs, services, organizations that just go unnoticed. You know, people are finding out about it pretty much as they live through life. And I've never been okay with that. So with the, like I said, services, products, or, you know, jobs, programs, organizations, our podcast will have guests that have have those things going on for themselves, so that way you as the viewer and listener can attach yourself to.
So you have guests in your podcast.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yes, programs.
And then Kush can tell what the podcast means for
You can
him.
push it up for them. Push it up there. That's good.
No, for sure. We've had guest programs. We've had Dr. Achoga, specialist for mental health,
Mm-hmm.
professionalized at that, within that. Also, we spoke on various topics within the podcast, but a sense of knowing what it is as you move on, you know. We tend to speak on wanting to learn or wanting to move forward without understanding exactly what it is that we're recovering from as a community,
Okay.
as black people. Shout out to Omaha, 95.7, the 402. You know, we're in Malcolm X's home. That makes sense, you know. So, yeah, hey, we got to pay attention to what it is that we've done before as we move forward, you know, and a step-by-step basis, you know. A dream is one thing, but how do you accomplish that? And can you accept where you are at the moment as you're building something?
Right.
That's everything, you know, enjoying the process and what you're going through. That's what we're here for, on top of hilariously educational, you know.
Okay, so I mean, so you guys have fun as well as
Yes, sir.
educate. So I mean,
Yes,
so
sir.
you can kind of do what I do. I like to create satire, but also, you know, deliver real specific, truthful knowledge. sometimes you gotta create a smile or laughter in order for people to really kind of engage, because they hear people talking to them all day long, saying what you should do, what we're not doing, and so, and then myself, I had a little anger and a little fight and all that, because of the love for the community. Obviously, you're doing it again for the love of your community to not only bring South Sudanese people together, but also bring the Black diaspora together so we can start doing business. I mean, 'cause it all comes down to commerce. It all comes down to making sure that we're great neighbors to each other. And the only way to get to that level is we have to know each other.
Wow, I agree with everything you said. That's one of the key staples of, during our season we have a series. It's called Bridging the Gap. First episode is my brother Elijah Craig. He was the first in his family to go back to the motherland. So that was one experience we had. One of our upcoming episodes is going to be called actually African Privilege, where we discuss with Eric from Green Room Studios. I'm not sure, him and Carl, they have the studio.
Okay.
So he came from behind the camera to come onto the camera to discuss his experience, where he's from North Omaha and he was talking about the 90s. There was barely like any South Sudanese. I was one of the first ones he knew, but he didn't even know I was South Sudanese for the longest, right? So he just tells about how the neighborhood has changed, how he went from like, okay, there's barely any of you guys, now there's a lot of you guys. Now y'all had these kind of morals, now y'all doing this. And it's a very in-depth conversation, man, to get to know each other a lot better. And we keep it very real with our transgressions, with how we felt.
So you talking about morals. So we came to America. Your morals changed to American morals, where there aren't any morals, really.
I mean, when they move you into the hood, they move you in the same cycle of poverty. You have to either become a lion or you get eaten. So our people, one thing we do is we adapt, and we've already come from that cycle. So that's second nature.
Right. So I mean, so Black people all over the world have dealt with some type of trauma based off of racism and slavery, and so we're dealing with the effects. We're still dealing with the effects of new masters. I call them new masters. They Black, but they act like the old master. Yeah, they act like the old master, and so they do the work of the old master. And we got new masters. They call China. They call America. I think the British is trying to get out of there, but they all around France, all around. And so that's the reality of coming together, because unity is the only way we're going to make sure that we push those interests that aren't in our interests. There's a great saying, and I see it written somewhere, where Bishop Tutu, it said a priest came to him and said, "Let us pray." And when they prayed, the white man had the Bible and the Black man had the land. And so the white man said, "Let us pray." So when they got through praying, the Black man had the Bible and the white man had the land. And so that's what you see here today in the mainland. We got conquerors from the east, the Arabs. They had the sickle, and then you have the Christians who had the straight sword. So both came with a sword. Now we got new adversaries like China, who is leveraging. But sometimes when you overextend, just like the Roman Empire, you shall fall. And so as you see, I call her Mother Nature, and God all around the earth, God all around the earth, they're visiting, and nature is rising in regards to our ability to control it. So
temperature rising for sure.
Heck yeah. So hopefully we'll create that unity that's necessary to make sure that we, create our own protection for the mainland.
So I got one thing to add, and I'm gonna let y'all brothers, I feel like I'm talking a lot. You mentioned having new masters, right? That look like us.
Yeah, they are us. They Black.
Yeah. So one thing that I love about you, you open the doors for a lot of people in the city of Omaha. You give a voice to people that would either not get that opportunity. You play people's music that probably would not get played. Even with us, quick story. We were actually at the Boss Awards, man. We were supporting. We came to the awards. Amazing. It was at the Harper Center in Creighton. It was a beautiful event. We had actually only paid to watch the show. Right? So now we're leaving. So after the show, there was like, dinner. We wanted to wine and dine, shake hand, kiss babies, all that. This is where you want to be at, right? So, Chana, we was just about to leave. And as soon as we were leaving, the lady at the door, I don't want to say her name, but she was talking to him in Swahili. And as we were leaving, she was like, hey, no, the king already paid for you guys to go. And at this point, we hadn't even had one conversation. We had no idea even know who he was. So I was like, that's crazy. I thought like he had said something to her in Swahili and they worked out some kind of deal and that's how we got it. But he was like, no, the king already paid for it. So we went upstairs, I seen you, I was like, yo, I appreciate you for doing that. You have to do that. And you tried to give me a charger while you were running the whole event.
Right.
That's how I was like, man, this guy's a real guy, man. Like
He gave you a Dodge Charger?
Nice. Not yet, but
I'll take a Tesla in blue.
So it just made me respect you a lot because I'm like, this guy, I had no idea even who you were. So that alone, I was like, that's powerful.
Yeah.
And that just goes to say that, this is actually our very first radio interview ever as a podcast, right?
Did you know that?
Yeah, this is our very first.
Yeah, man.
You're the first one to reach out to us about a radio interview. You didn't know nothing about us. You could have just been like, man, forget these guys. Like they don't. What can they do for me? But we're sitting right here having this interview because you're like, you know what? Let me give these brothers a chance. Let me not. If I'm a gatekeeper to anything, I'm gonna open up the door and let as many of us come through. And I think what you mean by we got people that look like us that are controlling us is there's a lot. You could have been like, you know what? Let these guys prove it to us. We have to prove it to us. And that's the downfall of our community because other communities they let the floodgates open. When one of them gets in the door, they let the floodgates open.
Without a doubt, and they allow each other to make mistakes. That's how you mature, by having an opportunity and having the ability to make mistakes, because you learn from those experiences. And the only way, I like to put my money where my mouth is. I don't have no money. I'm gonna put it right by my mouth.
Yeah, because you bought that charger for him.
I got a quarter. I put my money by my mouth. You'll see it.
You're making $1 right now.
Yeah, so, we want to make sure that we have validity. I grew up where our word was bond. So, and then also I know for a fact that I'm here because of elders. And so I want to just reciprocate that because it's necessary to manifest in our neighbor's God-given talents because everybody needs help. And so when you develop a callous and don't want to help no one, then you become less a mammal because mammals need people. We need each other. So I have to be that example because if I didn't have elders before me open the door, then I wouldn't be where I'm at. And so I'm just reciprocating what I learned from my elders because I know it works. So, I just go with what works. It makes life a lot easier, stressful, less worrisome when you stay with the basics, stay with the foundation. And one of the things that my mom always taught me is life is hard when you go out and make it that way. So you participate on how your life is. And so I like peace, but also I like individuals that are just have a love and a passion for the community and not getting paid. They just want to see their environment improve. And that is who I am now. And when I'm gone, that's how I want to be remembered. And so I see you and me based off of being proactive, attacking your fears. One of my good friends, she said, when you hear a lion in the jungle, you hear a roar, most people want to run away. You're supposed to run towards that roar. And so I run towards roar. I run towards the noise, you know what I mean, and see what's going on. All right, and then I let them know, no, we're the king of the jungle.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do gotta run away. Gotta keep it real. Gotta keep it real.
Close call.
If they got babies, they try to protect their babies, they gonna win. You might as well turn around and run away. But no, you're supposed to run towards that fear because you will conquer it. That's why I say the track athlete is the greatest athlete, because a track athlete have to go against God's elements: wind, temperature. It could be time, gravity. I ain't talking about the opponent yet. It could be water if you run a steeple. It could be sand if you had to do the broad jump. So it could be a pole if you got to do the high jump or the pole vault. Wherever it is, it's always an obstacle. And it's a natural obstacle because we have to get over natural obstacles. I ain't even talking about the opponent yet. I ain't even talking about the other teams that we got to compete against. Most of this is you're going against God's elements, and the main one is wind and gravity, which is are the two forces that cause the greatest destruction. And so it's necessary that we are examples, that we are creating conduits of opportunity for the younger generation. You guys are next. You're gonna be saying pretty soon, put me in the game, coach. And then I'm gonna be checking out. I'm gonna get my rest, like Dr. J over there. Go ahead, young, go ahead and give me some of that Gatorade. Yeah. And then I'll come back in and finish it. But it's a unity, it's a teamwork effort. And so I just want to make sure that Omaha knows that there's other brothers and sisters from the Black diaspora that is trying to change this community here in North Omaha and all of Omaha, because we everywhere. And then also we want to let the majority community, the white community, know that we want to do business. We have the intelligent wealth, we have the business capacity, and we have the love for our community. So we want to break all stereotypes. The only way to do it is to show our intelligent wealth and show our unity. So when can people catch your podcast?
Well, before we get to that, I wanted to expound on what you just said.
Yes, sir.
William King. Shout out to William King, 95.7. Shout out to the 402, the whole Midwest. All those elements that Brother William King was just saying, the biggest battle before you even meet being an opponent is yourself. You gotta go against yourself first, you know, go through all those elements within, and then you approach the world with something substantial. Otherwise you'll topple, you know, so I think that's something that we should all ponder on going throughout the rest of the week, coming from William King. So thank you for that game.
Appreciate it, big bro. Appreciate the love, big bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, follow my brothers at Kush Convos Podcast, and also South Sudan Max, G_Okoyo at Twitter and Gmail. Oh no, excuse me, Twitter, Instagram, and if you want to reach us, Kush Convos Podcast, kushconvos101@gmail.com. And I'm yours truly, Kush God. Follow me on all platforms. And if there's anything else that needs to be added, you know.
Yeah, they can watch the podcast exclusively on YouTube. That's
Okay.
Kush, KUSH space KONVOS space TV. That's our YouTube channel, and they can catch each and every episode on YouTube.
What does Convos mean? Konvos. See, black people, we spread. I don't care where you at in the world.
But see,
Black people,
but
they put different letters and stuff in there.
Yeah.
you know, see, there's a funny narration to that, because look, we find a way to really, you know what, just get to the point. So we say, instead of saying, you know, conversations,
Okay.
we say convos.
Okay.
Kind of like, you know what, at the
Yeah.
moment, we understand, or we just get to scrap it.
There's also some deeper into that as
Yeah.
well that maybe they didn't know, but it's on purpose.
Okay.
Everything that we do is deliberate. I want people to understand that. The Kush, it comes from the ancient African kingdom called Kush.
Okay.
That was in East Africa. So during the time of ancient Egypt, you know, they called it a different name, Kemet. There was
Yep.
also another ancient kingdom called Kush.
Right.
This was ancient Egypt's big brother. I want to say this again. This was ancient Egypt's big brother.
Okay.
Anytime that Egypt had issues with the Libyans, the Hyksos, the Assyrians, they called Kush. They went into Kennesu, which is Kush, and they said, hey, get your pharaohs to come and help us out.
Black
King
Pharaohs.
Tut, his parents were from Kush.
Okay.
So King Tut himself was a Kushite. And
Okay.
then you can tell because he had the, we're going too far. But
No, you know, I mean, one of these days we really have to connect the history, because that's the development of mankind.
Yeah, we have to get into history, but also we have to check history.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot we need to understand when it comes to these things we speak about.
So-
Go ahead.
so real quick, the deliberation of the convos. You had spoke earlier that there's old masters and now there's new masters. There was a time in Africa where the letter C didn't exist.
Right.
So like Congo, right, was spelled with a K.
Okay.
The country of Guinea has a capital called Conakry. That was spelled also with a K. It wasn't until colonization came that changed these letters of the names in Africa to a C. So instead of conversations with a C, we changed it with a K.
Okay.
So we're changing it back.
So you're getting back to the original language.
That's right.
I stutter, so I tell everybody the reason why I stutter is because my original language trying to get out.
That's right. Absolutely.
And English is
Absolutely.
getting in the way.
That's
The English
nice.
is getting in the way.
Absolutely.
So again, let the people know where they can catch your podcast at.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, are you guys on live too?
Live, like Facebook Live.
No, I'm talking about when you do your podcast, do you tape it and you just upload it to YouTube?
Ah.
Or we're doing it like now. Right now we're live on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
What's up, Miss Johnson? She said good evening.
What's going on, Ms. Johnson? Hello,
As
hello.
well, YouTube. We got shouts out to our YouTube viewers. We got about about 3 or 4 views on there. Then we got some viewers on Facebook.
Awesome.
So we stream it live right now, and then also we're in cars, so people can hear us in the cars.
Yeah.
So is your broadcast live like that, or you tape?
No,
and
we
then
tape it and
broadcast?
then we broadcast.
Let me just put it on YouTube. And again, that YouTube channel is Kush Convos TV. That's KUSH space KONVOS space TV.
Have you guys thought about going live, like we're doing here?
Man, right now, we're just in the beginning stages, but crowdfunding is an option that we've been looking into. So be on the lookout for us and more on information on how you guys can be a part of that.
How can people be guests? Because like you said, there's 15,000
Awesome.
South Sudanese. There's business owners. There's customers that businesses want to get in front of you guys. How can they get on your show?
You can reach out to the email. And what email is that? You need that full email.
Reach out via email, kushconversations101@gmail.com. Also on all social media platforms at Kush Convos Podcast. Individually, you can reach G_Okoya at Instagram and Twitter. And you can reach South Sudan Max at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And for the ones that are listening in the car, for the email address, that's KUSH VERSATIONZ101@gmail.com.
Okay, all right. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. We're talking to the host of Kush Convos.
I know it's a tongue twister, right?
Did I get it right? Did I get it right?
Yeah, that's right. You're a real Kushite now.
And it's funny because everybody be smoking Kush over here.
You know what's crazy? What's crazy is we invented that, like that's us, but like we don't get.
I mean, you get no credit. You
Nah.
get no credit.
We don't get it now though. Like
Nah.
now,
Uh-huh.
we gonna need it. We gonna need like all of these companies that have certain. They're using our name.
Yeah, cut that check.
Copyright.
Cut that check.
It's only right.
Cut that check.
Yeah, so that's
Hey, Kushites
real
we need
country.
reparations too.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. So man, the world is funny. The world is funny.
Yeah.
You got the Kush King and now and they smoking Kush. Wow. Man, we gotta learn our history, y'all, for real.
For real.
Like I said, we need to take advantage for those that have been what have been stolen. We really need to use our intelligent wealth. We got lawyers. We need to look at how we need to get back our resources that have been stolen. We need to look at legislation so we can advocate commerce coming to our community. And so we got a lot of work to do in the Black diaspora, without a doubt. Man, I have had a great time. I'm glad that you guys admire the show. I feel it's a blessing. You put more pressure on me that I gotta be righteous, right? So they call me Reverend New Hope. Oh yeah, I'm the only hope you got, without a doubt. And so we're gonna. I'm gonna surprise you. I had a good call from the East Coast, and you know sometimes when you have young ladies get in the game, and you know young ladies, they are nurturers, they are peacemakers, and so I appreciate that call. Just like I appreciate that you guys appreciate what we do here at 95.7 The Boss. Is there anything that we didn't discuss tonight that you want to make sure that we get across before we get out of here?
Man, listen, everybody that has a position in the city as a stakeholder, whether that's politically, economically, whether you're an entrepreneur, reach out to Kush Convos, man. We love to discuss more success stories because where we come from, all we hear is negative. We hear bad things about immigrants, refugees, black community that's here. All we hear is negative things. So it's up to us to push that narrative that we want to push as much as possible, and we're here to help y'all do that. So reach out to us, man. We'd love to tell everybody your story. And appreciate you for having us out here. You're one of the staples of the city. You're one of the chiefs of our village here in Omaha. So we want you to get your flowers, man. If you don't hear it enough, Kush Convos is going to let you know. That's what we do. We give out flowers to the stakeholders and the leaders of our city, and you're definitely one of them.
All praise to God. All praise to God. I appreciate the love.
Yeah. Thank you again. Like he had said, you're our first radio interview. So the fact that you did this means a lot. We already had listened and watched you, and now just to be here is surreal, especially for Kush. He might not seem like it now, but this man is like a young child, you know, like taking this all in. The last thing that I have to say is that Kush Convos Podcast, our guests are not just limited to just Africans from the mainland, is Africans worldwide. So South Africans, Central Africans, West Africans, a little bit of North Africans. I know that might be controversial, but Africans in the Central Latino areas, Caribbean, North and South America, and anywhere else, you are welcome onto the show.
Okay. Well, so anyone in the city, that's basically everybody. So you're all welcome to come on Kush Convos, because they want to make sure that you learn not only about their culture, but they want to do business, man, and they want to break down stereotypes, but also foster new relationships. And so we want to make sure that we partner and be a good steward in regards to being a great elder. And so we challenge all the elders to make sure that we give younger people opportunities, a conduit of opportunity. It could be advice. Everything does not have to be money. So we got to make sure that we give out hope and faith. The only way to do it is to do it. So we're about to get out of here, Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs, the NOI, Nebraska, Omaha, Iowa. We appreciate you chiming in with us this evening. We're going to have, I think, 2 guests tomorrow. Deborah Dogblood is going to be on. African Swag, they have their big event on the 24th. Still get some tickets. It's going to be one of the hosts. We have like 4 of the hosts. You're going to be one of the hosts, right?
I heard you were a host.
Yeah, I'm a host.
You're a host, right?
I'm a host.
Oh, okay.
It's like
nice.
the 2 Spider-Man.
I'm back in the game. I'm back in the game.
Nice, nice. You do hosting and radio
Man,
presentations?
I do a lot, and I'm the greatest dunker.
Hold on.
Sounds. You a real Kushite man.
Yeah, you know, because I heard her talking, and I said, when you still in high school, you told that basketball still, I am the greatest dunker. Michael Jordan said, Mr. King, you are a leaper. He didn't say it to Spud Webb. He didn't say it to Dominique Wilkins. He said it to William King.
Wow.
So I claim my fame, baby. It all comes from God. Thank you, God. Without doubt, you've been good to me, you know. Without doubt. We're about to get out of here, y'all. Hopefully you've learned something. Hopefully you will reach out to Kush Convos to develop new relationships. so we can change this community. It's gonna begin when we unify, y'all. And that's why I brought these brothers on, so we can see and prove that we are unifying this community. All right? So, anything else, gentlemen, before we get out of here?
Shout out to Coach Deb.
That's right.
Shout out to Raheem Sanders.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all being the host. Y'all about to do your thing. Come check it out the day before Christmas. I know you guys, if you're not doing anything, come check it out, man. It'll be good for you. You might learn a couple things. Eat some good afternoon food. Shout out to Coach Jamil, or Chef Jamil.
So watch the show. Pay attention.
And thanks for tuning in. It's Chris G.O.D. Omaha, Nebraska. It's 95.7. William the King. It's Chris G.O.D. Kush Convos. South Sudan Max. Ochanda. G_Okoyo. Tune in next time.
Doesn't he have a voice for radio?
Oh, yeah, we can get him in the mix, baby. Get him in the mix.
Hold on. I do have one more thing to say.
Yes.
And I gotta say this, and I'm sorry. I know we're gonna talk more about it off air. You know, we talk about bridging this gap, right? We would love to have like a Kush Convos Afrobeat African music playlist.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we can do something like that. Just give us a mix. Send us a mix. We'll add you in the mix because we're gonna be adding a different flavor far as next year with our programming. I talked to my son. My son programs the station now.
Shout out to you for that, man. Keeping that in the family, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, that's the ultimate goal. Is to make sure every generation is better than the last.
Woo!
So
That's drop a Kush bomb. Say it again. Say it again.
Oh yeah,
say it again.
The ultimate goal is to make the next generation better than this generation.
African leaders, do you hear that, bro?
So we create conduits. We create conduits of opportunity for the next generation. And so I know my son. I was talking to him about making sure that, cause we play local music in the morning time, but I need to filter that music throughout the day. So we're gonna be committed to playing at least 1 or 2 local songs every hour for 24 hours forever. And so every that's potential 24 to 48 hours, 48 artists being played every day. Between 24 to 48 hour artists will be paid every day on our station. And so we want to create stars. We the boss, baby. Without a doubt, only the boss. We the kingmaker over here, for real. And so kingmakers are those that are looking at those that are manifesting their God-given talents and collaborating and creating providence. Old white guy, oh yeah, Steve Johnson. He's one of my elders. He's one of my elders. And when I first started this radio station, I didn't have no equipment. And I went down to over in South Omaha, 50th and Grover area. And computer store, we knocked on the door, went inside, and I told him what my ambition, my ideal to create a radio station for one of the poorest communities in the nation. And Steve, the son-in-law, gave me a computer. Actually, they fixed up a computer especially for the radio station. They add some all that technical stuff. But I met his father-in-law, who is Steve, who is my elder now. He's dealing with cancer right now, so you can say a prayer for him. Hopefully we will be meeting this week. He has guided me. Well, actually, he told me this story. He said that we are atoms.
ATOMS, right?
Yeah, we're atoms.
Yeah.
He said atoms, fly by. They fly by because they go at amazing speed. You can't see them, they're invisible. But every once in a while when atoms hit, because we're made of atoms, and when they collide, it creates providence, it creates greatness. And so these are your atoms that we have collided. And I know we're going to be creating greatness in the future. I encourage you to collide with other atoms. That means work with other people and create providence and create greatness. Without a doubt, I am that example. Steve Johnson is still my elder. He's a white man, and I'm a black man, and we are two atoms that are hit, and we're creating providence all year without a doubt. Boss with me, y'all. We about to get out of here tonight.
Stay safe on one.
Peace.